I'm Ieva. I study creative communication at university and I do tote bags. I draw on tote bags with special markers, and it all started a few years ago when I wanted to do something for my best friend for birthday, to do DIY, and I saw a couple of people embroidering tote bags, but I thought that's just too hard and I wanted to be more flexible, so I thought that I can draw on tote bags. And yeah, until till this day I do tote bags, usually for my friends, for birthdays, for Christmas, and sometimes I also sell them. I think it won't surprise anyone that I get inspiration from Pinterest. Sometimes you just have some kind of an idea in your head and you just need to see something similar so you would know what you want to do. So Pinterest is my way to go. Also, I live in the capital of Lithuania, in Vilnius, and it's a real beautiful city. We have a lot of parks and beautiful, gorgeous old towns, so my surroundings is also some kind of source of inspiration for me. So I chose to draw with markers, so specific markers suited to draw on different fabrics. It's easier, small, you can be more flexible with it, that's why I like it. And then you paint on tote bags, the fabric just loses its quality, it loses its, I don't know how to say, its lightness, I guess you can say it like that. And with markers, you can shade it, you can shade your drawings easily, you can just add the colors easily, they don't blend as much as they do with the paint, and yeah, basically that's why I like markers. So art process in different types of arts is different. For me, it starts with getting a vivid and clear idea in your head, then drawing it on a sheet of paper, doing a little sketch, and redrawing it on a tote bag with a pencil. You can skip this step if you're confident or if it's an easier work. Then you draw your sketch on a tote bag with pencil, you just outline it with markers, and basically you're done. You can shade it if you like, or if you know how to. Also, when you do art on tote bags, you need to remember to skip really small details, because when you draw on some kind of fabric, you can do thin or sharp lines. It might get blurry, or it might just fade or smudge, so you need to be careful of that. The most important part of art process for me is just getting and thinking of an idea, of some kind of idea. You need to get it clear and really vivid and specific in your head, because when you start doing on tote bag, you can erase lines, you can change them, you need to work with what you have, and also it's not maybe a part of process, but what you need to know in the process is that you need to know how to work around your mistakes, because as I mentioned, you can't just take a rubber and take off some lines, but you need to work them around. I'm not sure if I'm the person to answer this question, but I think you just need to create your own maybe social media accounts. You need to go out there, you need maybe ask your friends to recommend you for their other friends to buy your handcrafts for them. The thing is that art is boundaryless, and art for me, for example, is genderless. Then you see a work of art, you never think, oh, I wonder if it's made by a man or if it's made by a woman. You just concentrate on what it makes you feel. And also art is not equal beautiful. Art is just something you created, and I think when we talk about women without background, without a big background or some kind of exposure to culture, It just depends on their own feelings, on their imagination, and how can they express it. And I think it's just the way to go, because art can express feelings the way words can't, or I don't know, action cannot do it. So when we talk about this question, I think we need to remember that artists show how they see the world, and I think their responsibility is to show that there is no one good way to see something, that their responsibility basically is to encourage people to think not in the box but out of the box, and just see that world can be colorful, that world can be in any shape or form, whenever and however. To be honest, I think art is a tool of resistance, and you can see different examples when marches or protests are happening, especially right now when we have this difficult situation, the war in Ukraine. And a specific example I can give for art as a tool of resistance is a couple months ago in Vilnius, near Russian embassy, there is a lake, and four Lithuanian artists filled the lake with red paint so it would look like a lake of blood. And our swim star Tommy Lupita swam in that lake, and it was like an artistic performance to say that we don't support Putin's regime, that we don't support his actions, that we don't support the war in Ukraine, and that we stand the Ukrainians together, and that we feel their pain and we see it and we want to help, and that we just support them. I think that art can lead to social change and is usually used as a tool to lead to social change. And why especially art, and why we talk about art in this case, I think that photography, paintings and something, and just visual art can represent something more than words can. For example, when you say to someone, oh, I know a family that doesn't have a roof over their head and doesn't have anything to eat, you don't think of a little boy that is just skin and bones, and then you see photos or recording footage of that family, you feel something inside, you feel more, you feel like you need to help them. So in those cases, I think art can lead to social change, but you need to remember that art was used in history as part of propaganda, and you need to remember that social change can lead to good changes and also bad changes. So we need to be careful of art and social changes. Just be brave, just do it, go out there, start something. If you have time, start doing it. If you have the opportunity, just go and do, because nothing will come to you if you don't do anything.